All right, guys, so we're still on our synthesis essay, and today's essential questions are how will your conclusion be graded, and how will you use the descriptors and examples to write your own? So, what needs to go in your conclusion? First of all, we want to start by restating our thesis. So, you look at your last sentence or two of your introduction, which is where your thesis statement should be, and you want to say the same thing, but don't use the exact same wording. Okay? And this should be 1 to 2 sentences, like a typical length of it, or how long a thesis statement should be. Um, then next, you want to summarize your key points. This will be approximately 2 to 4 sentences. And then your clincher, what we want you to do for this is consider what you can learn from this. So thinking about your issue, thinking of what you've explored through these 3 texts, what can you learn from this? And this should be approximately 3 to 4 sentences. So let's talk about a B first. So a conclusion that earns a B has a restatement of thesis, summary of key points, and a clincher, and the clincher is adequate. Now a C, it has the elements, but one of the three may or more, okay, may be vague, too brief, or just generally weak. And then an A is it has a 3 and your conclusion feels cohesive, so like it flows. The clincher is thoughtful and developed, and just on the whole, the conclusion feels united, it feels whole. So here are 2 examples. So the black is the restatement of thesis, the green is the summary of key points, and then the red is the, what can we learn from this about our issue. So, as it can be concluded by the preceding statements, it is incredibly important for one's education to have a strong intellectual role model. This is proven by Mike Rowe's failure in school when exposed to non-motivated peers, as well as his success in school when exposed to a mentor who helped him realize his potential. It is also proven by Westmore's amazing success once he was in an environment full of positive role models, contrasted by the other Westmore's failure to learn how to properly act in society after being around strong negative role models during his upbringing. Finally, it is proven by Troy's failure to learn how to properly care for his family as a result of his father, as opposed to Corey's success at becoming a respectful and disciplined young man thanks to his rejection of his negative childhood role model. Without someone to act as a motivator in the right direction, it can be very hard to succeed. This issue can be compounded hugely by the influence of someone who does not have your best interests in mind or teaches you to think in a negative way. That is why it is incredibly important to act responsibly in front of impressionable youth, so that you don't influence them to make the same mistakes you do. And here's another example. A person's character, though defined by their family, is most defined by their defiance of their own family, as this encourages individuality and differences in personality from parent to child. The novel Into the Wild and the play Fences both portray the vast benefits of defying one's family, as it spurred the character development of both non-fictional Chris McCandless and fictional Corey Maxon. However, family can also serve as a unifying factor in the case of Maya Angelou and can enhance oneself through a larger family, such as the class of 1940. It is important when viewing family relations to take everything in moderation. While it is important to accept and learn from family traditions, it is equally important to recognize when family expectations interfere with the true inner self. This remains extraordinarily realistic in today's society, where the nuclear family continues to be the basic construct of almost every American household. While children should not necessarily disobey their parents, it is needless to say that kids today should be more confident in their own ideas and willing to assert their position. Only in this way will the next generation continue to innovate and change the world for the better. So those 2 conclusions that you saw are from written by students last year. And they're not perfect, but they're very, very, very good, okay? When I say they're not perfect, I mean there's a couple little typo issues, but they have all the parts that they need to have, and they've written them very well. They are cohesive, they feel whole, they don't feel weak or choppy or just trying to, tick the boxes, meet the requirements. They sound thoughtful. So I want you to go ahead and write your conclusion now and submit it to this Dropbox when you're finished. And if you have any questions, please let me know.